It says a sample containing only carbon and hydrogen is found to have 14.7 grams of carbon and 3.71 grams of hydrogen. What is the empirical formula of the compound? So an empirical formula is the simplest ratio of moles. Unfortunately, we're given grams. So before we can find the simplest ratio of moles, we first have to find moles and then find the simplest whole number ratio. So in order to do that, we need to convert these grams to moles. So starting with 14.7 grams of carbon, we want to convert it to moles. If we look on the periodic table, we find that the molar mass of carbon is 12.01. So we want to put the 12.01 grams of carbon on the bottom and the 1 mole of carbon on the top. And when we do that math, we get 1.22 moles of carbon. We need to repeat for hydrogen. So we have 3.71 grams of hydrogen times, for every 1 mole of hydrogen, it's 1.01 grams of hydrogen. Obviously, we have to use the molar mass of hydrogen for this one, not the molar mass of carbon. When we do that, we get 3.67 moles of hydrogen. Now we need to take the simplest whole number ratio. In order to find a whole number ratio, you want to divide by the smaller one. The reason for that is the smaller one divided by itself is 1, and the bigger one divided by the smaller one is a number greater than 1. So in an empirical formula, we want to have 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 or 1 to 1 or whatever the case may be. We don't want to have 1 to 0.05, right? So we want a whole number ratio, not a fraction. So we divide by the smaller one. In this case, we have 1.22 and 3.67. 1.22 is a smaller number, so we divide this by 1.22 and we get 1. We divide this by 1.22 as well, and what we end up with is 3.01, which is approximately 3. But we're not done yet. An empirical formula is a formula. And what this means is, for every 1 mole of carbon, there are 3 moles of hydrogen. A formula is C1, we don't write the 1, H3, like so.